What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And this movie, I like this movie. This is The River Wild. It's the 30th anniversary of The River Wild. This movie came out in 1994. It stars Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon, David Strathairn, John C. Reilly, and Joseph Mazzello. What a fucking cast. What a cast. And I'm going to top that. I'm going to say it's directed by Curtis Hanson, who previously he was hot off of Hand the Rock's Cradle. I remember him more fondly from, I didn't even know he directed this, to be totally honest. When people go Curtis Hanson, I would go, oh yeah, LA Confidential, Wonder Boys, 8 Mile. And then I'm like, what happened to Curtis Hanson? Like after question mark? Um, because I really enjoyed that trio of films, really worked for me. And I felt like he was at the peak of his career with that. But then you add River Wild into the mix, and it's like, well, yeah, this dude was firing all cylinders for a while there, and then Hannah Rock's Cradle is not bad. So, but I love The River Wild. The River Wild is great. Critically too. I mean, this is a film that shouldn't be recognized by critics, but it got like Golden Globe and SAG nominations for Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon, because they're really good in this. This was a period of time where I really like Kevin Bacon. I I saw this when it came out. Basically, I think I saw it on like VHS. I don't think I saw this in theaters, but and I like Tremors. Somebody showed me Tremors like on VHS after like when I left theaters, and like Tremors became, I was like obsessed with Tremors. This was like I was just starting to get into like films not made for kids, and films like this that were PG-13, that were accessible to me, that had just enough content where I felt like I was watching something where it's like, oh yeah, I can grow up now. Like that, yeah. Like I love Tremors because it's like PG-13 horror, and The River Wild has stuff in there, and you're like, oh yeah, I love this. And Meryl Streep she's so convincing that you would think that she actually knows how to whitewater raft. But there's a fun fact here that she did not. Um, she didn't have a fun time. She almost drowned. Curtis Hanson almost accidentally drowned Meryl Streep, and one of the greatest actresses of all time ever, if not the greatest. Uh, Almost, she had a terrible experience filming this. But anyway, yeah, this film does have audio description on Netflix. It's was leaving on September 30th. I guess they ran out with there because they, I guess, had it for a period because they had the remake. So they decided to bring it on. I'm definitely not putting this out before September 30th. I don't think so. Sorry, but it was on Netflix. I think DVW did the audio description for this. And I've got my purple hat on backwards, black sunglasses, and I've got a Fortnite t-shirt on for my blind audience. I know I usually do that earlier in the film, but I'm so excited to talk about River Wild. So you've got, like I said, Meryl, David, and Joseph. And Joseph is hot off of Jurassic Park, so he's having a career. And he would go on to do things too. I remember like The Cure, some other films that he was in and around this time. And they play this family that goes, they take their dog, and they go on this whitewater rafting trip. Meryl is basically labeled as being kind of an expert in this. She did this when she was younger with more experienced guides, and she's only just gotten better at it. So she knows what she's doing, and she knows how to navigate down things. And her husband is kind of a wuss. But this film is all about him stepping up as a husband and as a father, because at the beginning of the film he's like trying to get out of it, trying to get out of the trip to, I don't know, work. And she's like, are you ever gonna, every time we try to do a trip or anything, you always find a reason to not do it. And so she was gonna go anyway and just take Joseph Mazzello, and then he's like, I'm here. I prioritized you. I'm a good husband and father now. Okay. But I mean, over the course of the film, he obviously has to risk his neck like several thousand times, so he earns it eventually. But this film is really about putting David Strathairn through the ringer. Um, Kevin Bacon is great in this film. He's that likable criminal who wink and smile and then just totally turns the tables. He plays it really well. He plays the guy that you can understand how he befriends everybody. He doesn't feel too dangerous, in the moments when he's with the family, and then like it's like slowly unpeeling the onion or the whatever. You get the layers. John C. Reilly just kind of feels like he's along for the ride here. And Kevin Bacon's obviously the mastermind. Um, but they play escaped convicts that need to get out of the area, and they stole some stuff, and they're people are looking for them, and they're using this family to sort of hide them, and there's so many great back and forths between Meryl and Kevin in this. Like Meryl is like, yes, Kevin is the criminal with the gun, but Meryl's the one with the knowledge. Kevin Bacon can't swim, and his demands include taking, it would include them going down the hardest. Which at the beginning, even before they get into this, her son's like asking her like, "Oh, why don't we take that? It sounds fun." And she's like, "Oh, well, I did that before, and people died. It's really tough. It's a level 5+ or whatever, thing." And she's just like, "No, we can't do that." So, but then Kevin Bacon's like, "No, we have to do it. And I'm going to trust you to take us down there." So there's so much build up. It's kind of one of those things like once it's been mentioned, they're like, well, they're obviously going to go down there. But I mean, I've seen this film a handful of times before, so I'll say this for River Wild. I have not watched it as much as I want to throughout life. I would love to watch The River Wild more. I'm happy that it was 1994, that this film was on Netflix and had audio descriptions so that I could use it as an anniversary release, and not have to like watch it without audio description or something like that. But yeah, I really enjoy this film. The one thing I don't enjoy, though, that is grating me, that as an adult, I've grown up, and now I have like a job other than this. And so, without going into full detail as what I do for a living, uh, let's just say I work with music. So, the score for this pissed me off. Um, there's a little part from the folk song Shenandoah that they use, but they use the same couple of measures from that song over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And I was going to beat to death the person who wrote this score. I was like, can you use any of the rest of the fucking song, please? Like, stop using. It would be like, it's the equivalent of if every single time I replaced the Shenandoah part that he keeps using, which he didn't write. This is not an original thing. I hope this thing was never nominated for original score, because fuck whoever nominated it. I hated it. It was driving me insane. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I've never noticed this before. But when you don't notice it's a song, and it's not original music, it would be like if I replaced it and every time you just heard, "Never mind, I'll find someone like you," and then you heard that like 10 other times throughout the film, you'd be like, why the fuck is this in here? And it's always the same hook. It's that. It is that. And for anybody who knows the song, it's that obnoxious. It is. Like later on in the film, you're just sitting there and like Meryl and everybody is going, and you just hear Adele come out with, "Never mind, I'll find someone like you." You'd be like, why is this in here? Can they use any of the rest of the song? Later on, they're like down in the water and you hear, never mind, I'll find someone like, and you're, God damn it. Why do you keep playing this part of the song? Like, it is the same part of the song over and over and over and over and over, and it was driving me insane. Like, I don't know if I can watch this movie again because I was getting like angrier and angrier, but I was trying to enjoy the movie because I was like, oh, I really love this movie. But I was like, what is happening with this? Why do you, the song is more than just like a couple measures. Do you know what I'm saying? It's more than a hook. And they just keep this whoever did the score was like, man, I really love this. I really love this. Oh my god, this is the best like couple a couple of lines here. Just I gotta include this in my score over and over and over and over. People are gonna think it's the theme to the River Wild, but they're not gonna know that it's like he's plotting for your stupidity. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. Anyway, well-directed film though. Curtis Hanson, good job. It balances drama and action really well. The film's like almost defies genre because it starts off as like one thing and kind of builds into another. And the action sequences work. A lot of this is just owed to the cast. This is an amazing cast. Like almost everybody's been nominated for an Academy Award. So and Meryl Streep, I mean, just like queen. I know some people are going to be like, this seems like a really happy review of River Wild. And it's like, I love River Wild. First of all, I think it's great to have in Meryl Streep's resume because she has so many like comedies that are kind of quirky, and so many like dramas. But she doesn't really have like an action film like this. We've never actually like given Meryl, like a weapon and been like, go fight, Meryl, go kick some ass. And this is the most ass kicking that she feels like she's doing. Like she feels like she takes control of this film in a female lead role. This is before, like the internet revolted against girl bosses and, like, oh my God, Ray Skywalker, I hate you. And like, well, back in 1994, Meryl Streep was owning the shit out of every other guy with her immense knowledge of whitewater rafting skills and one-upping Kevin Bacon. So yeah, it's a great film. I love this film, and I feel blessed to have watched it again. I thought the audio description was really good. Just with the creepiness of watching certain scenes and especially the quiet moments, like the one where she bathes, and I don't know why she goes full naked anyway. There are a bunch of people around anyway. Like, why are you taking off your clothes to go bathing in the water? I love also, my favorite part about that too is like, she goes bathing. As soon as she starts to bathe, there's a thunderstorm. And I'm like, you are in water in a thunderstorm. Like, why? Like, why did you summon a thunderstorm for this scene? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this scene being filmed during a thunderstorm? You could not have picked a weirder time for somebody who supposedly has outdoor skills to be like, you know what? I really want to be in water right now. That would be great. I want, I want to immerse myself in the river. Um, just so yeah, it's not a perfect film. There are things about the film where I can be like, no. But it's a really enjoyable film. I really like it. Is it Meryl Streep's best performance? God, no. But it's a very important performance for her because when you look at everything else she's been asked to do in her career, there's so many other performances that are really like other performances. This film does really truly feel like, man, it's completely different than like everything else she's being asked to do. So I like this for her. I like it for her. It looks good on her. I like it. It looks good on her career. So yeah, The River Wild, check it out if it ever comes back to Netflix or anywhere else with audio description. But I'm gonna give The River Wild I'm gonna give it a B plus. Yeah, the score kind of annoyed me, and there are a couple problems with the film, but overall, it's got some great acting, great action sequences, and I think it benefits a lot from Curtis Hanson, who obviously was still cutting his teeth so that he could get to something like LA Confidential. You know, he's warming up to LA Confidential, and you can feel it in this film. This film's got vibes, and I would say this film has stood the test of time. I think it has. The fact that somebody felt the need to like reboot, remake it with Leighton Meester. By the way, no, Leighton Meester is not Meryl Streep. Don't even. I feel like you weren't even trying. Like, I like Leighton Meester as an actress, like as a person, like as a human, but she's nowhere near Meryl Streep's talent. Like, the closest you could have come would have been like The River Wild featuring Olivia Colman, like that would have been an attempt, you know, like, but no, this is this is not that. I haven't even seen it. I refuse to watch it. It sounds terrible. It's like Leighton Meester, Taron Killam. I'm just like, no, I don't, I no. No one needs that in their life. But yeah, this is fun. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you guys on the other side.